What's your favorite video game?
My favorite video game? I'd have to say like League of Legends.
Nerd. I'm just kidding.
Wow, okay.
Welcome to another episode on the Golden Sheep Podcast with me, Dr. Megan Nguyen. And today, we're going to do things a little differently. We've interviewed the greats. We've interviewed adults, millennials, but have we really asked a Gen Z, a 17-year-old, what actually goes on in their head? Well, I have one of the best here. So without further ado, who are you?
Hui Lam.
Hey, Hui Lam. How old are you?
I'm 17. I just turned 17 in April.
Okay, happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
So where do you live now and where were you born?
Right now I live in the US, Houston, and I was born in Vietnam, Hanoi.
Okay, Vietnam, Hanoi. And what do you do? I ask everybody this. What do you do for a profession?
For profession?
Yeah, profession.
I'm a professionally high school student.
Professional high school student. Okay. Have you seen these episodes? You know the one question that I ask everyone on this channel.
Yes, I have. Like I watched three episodes.
3 episodes. Okay. And the question I always ask is, how did you get here? One sentence.
Voluntold.
Voluntold. What is voluntold?
Like it's a mix between volunteer and told. So like instead of like volunteer, like so if someone asks like, hey, who wanna volunteer for this position? And then the person just points at you and they say, yeah, you're it. I'm like, that's more like being voluntold, you know?
Yeah, I've
And
never heard of that term before.
now my parents asked me like, do you want to go to the US? Yes or no? But like, do I really have an option? Like, because like they did so much preparation. They asked so much help from relatives. And just for me to say no, like, that's not really appropriate. Like, that's just me being straight selfish if I said no. So like, I really didn't really have a choice. So, like, I said yes, and now here I am.
When did you move here?
I moved here in literally like the 31st or like the 1st of January in 2023.
You actually remember that very clearly.
Because I remember the day I left, the 28th.
Okay, let's go from the moment where your parents said, US, you in or you out? The voluntold.
Yep. So that was like, I remember it was October of 2023 or some sort. And like, you know, like they did a lot of preparation because like they were planning to move here since summer of like 2022. So like, because like we went here for vacation for like 2 months because of summer vacation. So, and then like they started getting ideas and like asking relatives or stuff. So like they're at that point, they already prepped for like what, 3 months of prepping and asking relatives for help. So like, can I really say no? Like all that relative, like sure, like if it's just my parents, then maybe I can say no. But like, no, it's not just my parents. It's everyone here who has helped and like have said helped or like suggestions and stuff. And like, I'm pretty sure they've hired lawyers and stuff. So like, no, I can't say no. I'm here now.
Yeah, obviously. We're glad he's here, guys. So he's here now, but in that moment when your parents said, okay, like this is actually for realsies, even though you knew it was coming, how did it feel?
Well, like the moment they said like they sat me down during 2022 of summer in the US in my aunt's house.
Oh.
Like they said like, do you want to move to the US? I'm like, no, not really. Do you want to like, we are moving to the US. Like at that time, like we are moving to the US. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I mean, I didn't really give it a reaction, but then like in my mind, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, bro, like my school, like 4 years in like that, like prestigious school. Like, why would I move here? Like, what benefit do I gain from it? And then they're like, because like, I helped your brother and stuff, citizenship, you're gonna get a citizenship, and then chances are you're gonna work here, and then like if you get a green card or citizenship, it's gonna be much easier. And you're like, okay, sure, I guess that's a pretty good point, but like,
yeah,
still like, that's such like a big change. Like, but then like, I wasn't worried at that time because like when I told my brother, like they asked me to go down.
Yeah.
And then I walked back up to the room and I told my brother like, bro, I'm being forced to move to the US for high school. And then my brother's like, nah, it's just a phase, don't worry.
A phase?
Yeah, because like they tried to do the same thing to my brother, but instead of being here in the US and telling him that, we were still in Vietnam. And the plan was like to make him go to like, if I believe like 11th or 12th grade, or like 10th, 11th, and 12th grade in the US. But then they canceled the plan. So like, that's why he thought it was a phase, because like they probably like might cancel the plan, but no, they didn't.
So growing up, I moved around a lot. My parents did real estate, so we would move from house to house, but it was within not only the same city, but within the same suburb. And actually that was really tough for me, because when my mom said, you finished out freshman year, but now we have to move high schools, it was like my whole world melted. You were not only moved to another city, you were moved across the globe.
Well, I mean, I was in like an international school, and like, if not one of like the best school in Vietnam, like best private school or like international school in Vietnam.
What school? What's the
It's
school?
like Saigon South International School. What I usually do there, like speak learning, because like that school, it's like it's not like normal American school, but like it's like heavily IB or like heavily AP. It's heavily both. So like it's like an ace at both sides. Like it has a lot of courses in IB and AP. So like when I changed here, like it's not that different, because like there's a lot of foreigners there. There's a lot of foreigners here. But then the only difference is that there aren't as many Vietnamese. So like I can't really speak my native language as much.
Yeah.
But like there are still some, so like I still get to. Well, you know what? No, I speak more Vietnamese in this school than I did in my old school.
How?
Yeah. Because like the kids who moved to this school, like they didn't come from like exactly like super international school. Like they come from like decent international school, or like bilingual, like they're half international. So like they speak more Vietnamese than they do English. So like when I speak English to them, like sometimes they like become too slow to respond, or like it's just weird for me to speak English to them. So like I just speak Vietnamese to them.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like I actually get to speak Vietnamese more here than I do there. Because back there, like all the kids, even Vietnamese, they speak fluent, like even better English than I do. And yeah, it's just
High school is rough, man. I didn't really enjoy high school, and I would never go back, even if given the chance. What was high school like there, and what's high school like here?
So high school back there, it was, oh my days, it was a lot harder.
Like academic-wise or socially?
Academic-wise. Socially, it fits my vibe more than it does here. But
Okay, how so?
academically, like, you once you submit something in late, that thing's gone. You're getting a 0. No, like, I don't care. You're getting a 0. Like, and the amount of notes I have to take, like I had like this world studies class. The teacher expects us to take like what? Every week, like 3 hours of notes at home. I'm like, oh, wait, what? And what about my other classes? Like, and then he's like, this is an international school. This is a private school. We're prepping you for college. This is what you're gonna do in college. So
it was more strict.
Yeah,
back
like, do
there.
it now, so you like can have a chill time in college.
But I don't remember getting leniency here. Like if you miss an assignment, you get a 0 as well here.
I mean, maybe because like your school's like public school, so like they don't really get the right to like be lenient. But like in my private school, like it's a private school, so like America, freedom, like you can do whatever you want. So like they inflate the students' grade to make their reputation better. It's pretty inflated.
It's really inflated. Okay, so let's talk social life in high school. Are there cliques still?
What do you mean by that?
Like, also, cliques is like groups of social people, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
cheerleaders, the football, the jocks, like
No,
the
yeah, that's
thespians.
like the movie cliche.
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. Does that still exist? Because that definitely existed when I was in high school 100 years
I
ago.
wouldn't say so. Like everybody's just grouping into one, but like there's still some like here and there, but like it's more like acceptable now. But like I'm in a private school, so I don't know like the difference between a public and a private school. So I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that it's like people are a lot more accepting.
So there's not really, it's just groups of people that like that have common interests, but not necessarily groups like, oh, this is clearly the jocks or clearly the cheerleaders or
like the jocks, like stereotypical jocks would have like a 2.0 GPA, but like here like they would have like a 3.9, 4.0.
nerdy jock.
Yeah, like
Okay, what's cool nowadays?
what's cool?
What's cool to a Gen Z? Do you use the word cool?
I guess, yeah, like sometimes I guess.
Do you use fly?
No,
Oh,
straight up no.
straight up no. I just learned about Riz.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
What's interesting that I just learned about it, or the word is interesting?
No, interesting that you just learned about it.
It's short for charisma.
I mean, before you said that, I wouldn't even know it was short for charisma. Like, I just know like Riz is like Riz, you know?
Okay, how from a Gen Z's point of view, describe a millennial like me, or just a millennial in general.
You are like very like y'all like show, like you like to show, you know,
So what?
like just like rights, women's right, and like
What?
like men are like this is how you're supposed to be a man. Otherwise, there's just a little
Okay, what? Okay, we're gonna bleep that out.
Or like-
we're gonna bleep that out. Okay, so you're saying we're more outspoken?
yeah, like you speak your mind a lot more. Like I mean, like it's not bad, but like
Interesting.
like I'd say you're in the middle, but like there are some like, oh my god, like shut the fuck up, you know? Like it's better if you just keep your mouth closed.
Okay, I wonder if other Gen Zs would agree with you. Okay, so you think millennials, we speak our mind
Yeah.
very boldly and
Yep.
loud. Okay.
And like I mean Gen Zs do too, but then like it's very like I'd say like it's very like small percentage, but like if that small percentage compared to like the normal percentage, the distance are like very far. Like
I just feel like you Gen Zs are super woke, and I believe, is that the right word?
what is woke? like as in like we're very like awake, conscious and stuff. Like we're aware of what's happening around us.
No, like you're just very in with societal, justice and injustice. And
I mean, like
you know,
I'd say
like-
that we do that because like millennials started it first, and then like I guess like they really passed on to like some Gen Zs who are easily influenced by like words, but then like most Gen Zs are not like social justice warriors.
do you feel like Gen Zs just don't care about anything, but then you care too much at the same time? I just feel I've never met.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's this one part that cares a lot, and then like there's just a polar opposite. There's no middle.
Yeah, but with millennials, I feel like there's a range where there's a
Yeah,
spectrum.
like there's a range, and then like there's just Gen Z's like polar op. You're either this or you're either that. You're not in the middle. If you're in the middle, you're old.
If you're in the middle, you're old. Okay, so I guess I'm old then. Okay, so 3 words to describe a millennial, 3 words to describe your Gen Z group.
Gen Z, I'd say Gen Z extreme. I feel like we care about academics more. Like Gen Zs.
Gen Zs care more about schooling.
That's what I'm thinking, or maybe that's just my surroundings or like my what I'm surrounded by. But like that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I may fight you on that. Okay, interesting.
And then what would last describe a Gen Z? I guess like somewhat careless.
You don't think that's just across the board for all teens?
That's actually a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. Through time.
Brain rot. We started like the brain rot trend. Like just like like it's like a term when you're like on TikTok. They're like content that brings no good to society. Like for example, like it's just like Peter Griffin dancing and like whoa, that's considered brain rot. You know, like it rots your brain away. And then now like we come to Gen Alpha, like their brain rot is on like a whole nother level. Like I really don't want to say this, but like they started this skippity toilet bullshit thing.
Skippity toilet. You see, all the social media that you consume, I never know anything you're talking about.
I mean, like, yeah, like from generation to generation, like this generation won't understand this generation. Like, just like me, I don't understand what the fuck skippity toilet means. Like, what? Like, how is that cool and stuff? Like, and like, you know, like from generation to generation, the average increase in IQ is like 10, right? But apparently no, from Gen Z to Gen Alpha, it decreased. It's like, it's like the first time. And like, honestly, I think it's because of brain rot. Like we started brain rot and then like brain rot evolved from this generation to that generation. And it really is affecting us.
Interesting. Yeah, really, really interesting. So you, Gen Z-er, you are now about to apply to college.
Yeah.
Walk us through the challenges with that, because it probably is different from when I did it.
I mean, from like my Asian household, like we aren't really like familiar with like US and stuff. Like my parents aren't, but I am. But like, so they're like panicking, like, oh no, then what are we gonna do? You need to start your college essay like what? In February. Like, bro, what? Like they're so like nervous about everything. I'm like, okay, like I'm just following what like my college counselor tells me to do. As long as I do, I'm pretty sure I'm Gucci, you know? Like,
why do you think parents stress so much?
Because they work and they work. They know what's hard. Like they don't want to put that hardship on their children. I mean, like if I had kids, I wouldn't want to do the same. Like I'm pretty sure I would like be pretty hard on my children to like get that 4.0 GPA, you know?
Yeah.
But like, they also like don't try to like adapt to like what's new and stuff. Like, they're just like living in the past, but like at the same time, they're at the present. Yeah. Like their mindset is at the past. Like it starts to get annoying, you know?
What do you think they're not adapting to? Like, what are they not getting with?
For example, like how like men and female, like, you know, they're starting to mix like just because you're female doesn't mean like you have to be good at cooking, or like just because you're female you don't have to like, you can't have short hair. Like just because you're a dude you can't have long hair, you know? Like it's so annoying. Like they just keep forcing their like old whatever stuff on me. Like don't, like I'm trying to live.
Part of it, trying to live. But I think part of it may be cultural too, because
definitely.
You know, but yeah, there's definitely elements of that parents keep on too. Okay, so let's circle back to the original other question, which was the 3 words to describe millennials.
Millennials, I'd say outspoken. But what I'm seeing, hardworking. I mean, mature. But like, I feel like that's just like to me, you know? Like,
yeah, because we're older.
Yeah, because you're older.
Huh. It's funny that you say mature, because I still feel like I'm your age, even though I'm definitely not.
I mean, now you're like, you're my apparently coach, but then like, wait, actually, what does being a coach at this point mean, like for you?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. So, what do you think the difference between a therapist and a coach is? I'm gonna answer your question by asking you a question. It's like the matrix of interviewing.
I guess like a coach, kind of. But then like. What, like,
do you think it's the same or different?
I mean, like when you're saying using the word coach, I'm thinking of like sport coaches and stuff. And like sport coaches, I guess like they show you like tactics and stuff. But then therapists, they just kind of like tell you like, oh, you're mentally ill.
I mean, more or less. But let's run with that sports analogy. Okay, they give you tactics.
Yeah. And
it's a sports setting. What else? Describe what a sports coach would do.
They'll like motivate you, but at the same time be hard on you, like
push you.
Yeah, like they push you to your limit, but at the same time, like, but then they do it because they care and they want to like improve you, and like they show you like how like other teams and stuff, like oh, like their team, they have this one player and stuff, and like or like they tend to use this type of tactic, so like we should use this tactic to counter that tactic. A therapist like, tell me your life. Oh, really? Cool. Oh yeah, you're depressed. Here's some pills.
Okay, that's not what therapists do. Is that why? But no, I asked that because a lot of people compare the two. But I really like that you bring up the sports comparison because it's very much that. It's bringing strategy, creating a game plan, and all of that. And again, like you said, supporting you because they care, but also pushing you to your potential, right? And a lot of it too is performance based. Like you want to be better, you want to be the best, or you want to be like excellent. And the best doesn't necessarily mean the best to anybody else, but the best for you, right? But a coach essentially helps you get from one point to the other, make sure you land there, and give you the best strategies to do it effectively. Because we're all about, I don't know how you see this from your perspective at your age, but we're all about like working so hard, but I don't think that's the wise way to go about it. Sometimes it's not about working harder, it's about working strategically. Not cutting corners, but strategically working. And a coach helps you get there faster, stay on track, and then you build skills that you can get and go and do on your own.
Because like the big difference is that coaches are with you while therapist tells you.
Therapists are not supposed to tell you, but therapy is more of a process based where you don't really have a time limit all the time. Some therapists do, but it's more like it's more based on your diagnosis and helping you not get cured, but it's more diagnosed framed. Whereas a coach is more like, where do you want to go? We're going to get you there. It's very goal oriented. Not that therapy can't be goal oriented, but it's very much like, okay, for example, for you, you're like, okay, my parents are on my butt for applying to college and I need to get on this so they're not on my butt anymore. So, like if I had a client like you, what I would do is I would help you make a list of all the schools that you need to go to, that you want to go to, all the deadlines for it. And then we build up like basically a game plan, like a sports game plan on how to do it. Coaching, it's an interesting thing because it's been relatively new in the sense of like coaching and what I do. And a lot of people are like, what is that? Like, all I know is like soccer coach. Soccer? Are there balls? Yeah. So there's a segment on the channel called Questions from the People. And so the people want to know. So without further ado, questions from the people. Fiona from Houston, Texas wants to know, what's your favorite video game?
My favorite video game? I'd have to say like League of Legends.
Nerd. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Okay. I mean, like it's a masterpiece. League of Legends is a masterpiece.
You can play it on your phone, right?
Yeah, I can play on my phone and my computer, but like computer is like, oh my god, it's on a whole nother level of hard.
Yeah.
Like it trains patience, and like you have to be observative, and like you have to like be good. And you like just be good. And so like it trains you to like the toxicness of the world because you don't understand how toxic the chat can be.
I just feel like the young generations now just love video games. Like before, for me, it was like very niche.
I mean, bro, your video games are like what? Like Tetris?
Okay. Spiral the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, Crash Bandicoot, I say that game's pretty,
fun.
That's actually, from what I'm saying, that's actually fun.
But and then the fighting games, Tekken, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but then, your Mortal Kombat is like in 240p, ours in like 4K.
I don't know what that means. Like, is that Riz?
Like the graphics, like it's graphics.
Is that video game Riz? Like, what is that? Okay, so League of Legends on your phone, computer is hard, chat is brutal. That's your answer.
Chat is very brutal.
Interesting. Okay.
So you have to be brutal back. That's
back when I was in high school, I feel so young. Like back when I was in high school or old, whatever, gamers were like the nerds. And now I feel like gamers are the cool kids. Like everybody does it.
No, it's not even just the cool kids, the nerds, the girls, everyone does it.
The girl, yeah. It was a very dude-centric activity back then for me. But okay, Jamal from Houston, Texas wants to know, what would you want your parents to do differently in parenting you?
Get off my ass.
Get off your ass. Okay, which about what?
Just academics.
Okay.
Just academics and like like my whole life, like get off my ass. Like I'm like cleaning and stuff. Like I'm
cleaning
it's my room, like I can live. Like even though my room's dirty, I'm pulling off 4.0 GPA. So like.
Okay, but you said that if you were a parent, you would also be on your kid's ass. So how do you counter that?
Oh shit.
Yeah, shots are true. Shots fired.
I guess when I'm a parent, I'd be like more I just try to be more understanding. Like,
Mm-hmm.
with my dad, like when he's teaching me math,
Mm-hmm.
it's not math, it's a battlefield.
It's a battlefield.
If I get a question wrong, oh no.
So just chill out.
Yeah, like I wouldn't like what my kid is good at, I train him at that. Like, you know, like I wouldn't force like if he's good at like biology, I wouldn't force physics on him, you know? Like if he's good at something, then I'll make sure that he's the best at that thing. Or like, but then like I'll add in a couple of like extracurricular like sports and stuff, but like academic wise, like just try your best, you know? Like if you're not trying your best, then like I can tell.
So overall, Ken, like, what do you think is the hardest thing about being a 17-year-old in the U.S.?
For me, it isn't really a lot of hardship, but I guess like just academic and like, cause you're 17, like you're about to be 18.
Yeah, that's how math
Like,
works.
People like the U.S. treats people under 18 like they're like babies and like their own child. The moment you pass 18, you're like a stranger to them. Like
Now your own.
Now you're like their slave. Like you become like you have to like you're you now. Like you're working for us.
Right.
We don't have to work for you anymore.
Yeah.
So like you have to prepare your mind for like become like literally to become an adult and to have responsibilities.
Yeah.
Something like you didn't really have to deal with when you're a minor.
I mean, it's crazy that legally 18 is, as you said, we push you out to be an adult in every way, like legally, right? But the brain is still developing too. Like you're still not fully an adult, actually.
I'm pretty sure when you're 17, you're not that much different from when you're 18.
Yeah.
Like,
interesting. Okay, so what is your advice for, I'm going to ask you the golden sheep advice one in the end, but we're going to build up to that. So what is your advice for parents out there with teen kids?
it's like, bro, chill, bro. Like, they're just kids. Like, let them live, you know?
Okay, what is your advice for 17-year-olds out there?
Go with the flow. Like, study so your parents wouldn't be on your ass. Like, study to a decent amount. Like, don't. I mean, if you want to try, like, if you want to like make your future bright, then try as hard as you can.
Yeah.
But like, if you're just trying to like go with the flow, then like, yeah, sure. But like, don't go off track and like do some weird shit that like make your parents like sad or some shit. Like, you're just disappointment at that point. Like, just don't, man.
So what's next for you? What's next? I know you're going to be a senior, but
Oh yes.
where are you headed?
University. Oh, I can't wait until the day. Freedom.
Freedom.
I can choose when I go to class and when I don't.
More or less.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. What do you want to major in?
Electrical engineer. Like that job it seems chill, but then like at the beginning it's not chill. Like at the beginning you gotta work your ass off. Like if you're not working your ass off, you're not getting the chill after.
Yeah.
Then like after that, you're the manager. You're like the big boss. So like you command people to do stuff. You don't really have to be there, you know?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm applying to electrical engineer because, and also my parents want me to do it. My dad wants me to do it because he's an electrical engineer himself. He knows his shit. So like, if I'm doing it, then he can help me a lot too.
So what do you think is the hardest part about in the stage you're in with applying to college?
I'd say like college essay because like, I'm in like this polar side where we're like careless. So like I don't really care about anything much. Like I don't really have much to write
You're
about.
on that polarizing end.
Yeah, like I don't have that much to write about. Like
Yeah.
nothing traumatizing happened in my life. Nothing really enlightening happened in my life. So like, what am I supposed to write about?
For anyone who's going through college apps right now, the best thing as a coach that works with people around this age as well, could say, or anyone for that matter, is that your story is unique. And it doesn't have to be a groundbreaking thing that you achieved or didn't achieve, or something traumatic even, is that your story is unique to your own. And people will learn from that. And even if my story is completely different from yours, my hope is that whether it be your story or Hui's story, that you walk away with just like, hey, you know, that one thing that he said was really relatable and the struggle is so real. So your story is really unique. You're a 17-year-old that got dragged across the globe and had to restart again. And while you went to a socially similar private school, it was still different.
Yes.
And you're handling it like a champ.
I know.
So then wrapping it all up, what is your golden sheep advice for all of us?
Go with the flow.
Oh, but that's so hard. That's so hard to do.
Oh, I mean, the world changes, so you gotta go with the world, you know?
Well, that's a wrap, golden sheep.